Thanks, Jana and Richard. Well, Rants is all about staying in that AC, but it's Fitness Friday, and that's how I like to work out. I'm hanging out with my man, Pat Hennigan from Jacksonville Fitness Academy. Today, we're talking about stretching. And so, my fitness journey, you've seen my stuff. I go in, I throw up iron, because it takes a lot to get all of this, you know what I'm saying? But I'm guilty of not always stretching before or after. How important is it to incorporate that into your workout?
Well, just like most things fitness-wise, it's contextual. It's going to depend on the individual person. More important than actually stretching, especially before a workout, is just getting your body warm, getting sweat, getting the fluid, flowing in your joints, getting your body ready before you hop on and grab 245s and put it on the side of each bar. Just make sure the body is warm temperature-wise. We talk about like metaphorical warm-up, like touch your toes. Like, no, get physically warm. That's how things start moving. And realistically, if you do that and you don't stretch, you're going to be fine. But if you have an acute injury or something that is genuinely wrong or painful, you definitely want to give that area some attention, not too much attention.
I like how you know that I'm throwing 245s on each side. You just make me
I didn't mean to cut you short. It's normally 3, but
yeah,
it's a Friday.
Good looking out, good looking out. Well, with that, so let's say, I do get on the elliptical before and I'm 15, 20 minutes, get a good sweat. Again, I don't follow up with the stretching, but let's pivot when it comes to stretching. Is it active and inactive? Are that a thing?
So active and passive, same thing really, yeah.
And so I remember growing up, I'm aging myself. It was like we'd stretch our toes, but we'd bounce. Is that still a thing?
Yes and no, again, contextual. I mean, really, stretching and when it comes to flexibility is something that is more complicated than we make it out to be, because it's not only a physical sensation, it's a neurological thing too. You're tight in an area because your body is saying something's wrong, we need to protect that area, so we're gonna create protective tension. And a lot of times when adults like us, adults who work at a desk, adults who are stressed out, are tight in like a random area, their back, their hamstrings, their hips, it's actually protective tension from the brain because you're so used to being in these awkward positions, holding a baby, sitting at a desk, where your body's saying, okay, something's wrong, something is off kilter here. We're gonna tighten up this particular area to make sure that nothing happens further. So a lot of times it's stretching that particular area, let's say hamstrings, for example. Stretch the hamstrings, touch the toes, don't bounce necessarily, but then you wanna do a movement that reinforces that stretch, that shows the brain that nothing's wrong here, we're tight because of a position, we're tight because of something funny. And if you hit both the physiological and the neurological side, you'll actually open up in much, much less time than, stretching for 45 minutes for a week. You
just hit on something, and I mean, I know I've been talking about working out, but you're talking about, mentioned like sitting at a desk or maybe holding a baby. How important is it for people to stretch just in their everyday, even if they're not even working out?
Very important, especially, holding a baby. We have 2 right now that are being held on.
Are you
I'm
like
sure one of these shoulders is higher, yeah. You always want your body to be in a state of physical preparedness. Yeah. So you don't want to wake up feeling, you wake up, you feel tight, you feel stiff, especially if you are having a child wake up in the middle of the night, especially if you're having a hard time fall asleep because you're stressed about work. So simple things, and the tight areas are gonna be different for everybody. But honestly, like yoga-based moves are the best thing you can do for mobility and flexibility first thing in the morning, whether that's a bird dog, a cat-cow, even touching your toes or doing a door stretch to open up your chest. For a lot of people who have that rounded back are gonna be paramount. But again, I would suggest pairing things like that with easy exercises. So like cat-cow into some push-ups, something into a bodyweight squat. Grab a band and do band pull-aparts throughout the day. Just keeping your body constantly ready. All
right, so this is Pat Hennigan from Jacksonville Fitness Academy. If people want to connect with you, what's the best way to do it?
So you can find us at jacksfitacademy.com, and on Instagram we are jacksfitacademy, and my personal is pat.hennigan.
All right, I'm stretching, y'all. We'll be back with more River City Live. Don't bounce right after this.